me, Jessica. I'm in here.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Can everybody hear me okay? Testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing, one, two. Guys, we're drinking. Has anyone ever tried Sun Cruiser? Because that's what I'm drinking. And then we'll be drinking Happy Thursdays. Guys, it's been a Sunday fun day. I've been having such a good day. I had work this morning. I haven't had work all weekend, so I apologize for being MIA. I'm trying to manage it all. I just have to be better about just randomly chatting people. Ryan, I appreciate having our little conversations every other day or every day pretty much, I think. Um I just have to be better about all of that. Like I'm trying to learn how to do that better for myself and not that anyone makes me feel bad or anything. I just want to make sure that I'm pulling my weight when it comes to all of my friendships and like all of you guys too. Like I love keeping up. Like Ali, I love when you post pictures in the Discord. I love when you check in on me. It's like means so much. Oh no, it's me too. Cause I'm dumb. But you don't forget. Like I feel like even on days when we don't text each other, it doesn't matter. Cause like I think we both remember the next day. Like oh, we should text. You know. I really want to start doing that with Kevin more. I think Kevin always loves to talk with me, and I love talking to Kevin. So guys, here we go. Oh, wow, ASMR. We're gonna play DBD. I'm gonna just solo queue and chat. I want to catch up with everyone. Hi, it's me. I want to catch up. I want to see how everyone's doing. Star, how was your stream? How was Overwatch? Get me back into Overwatch. Like I was having so much fun in Overwatch. It's such an easy game to like drop, you know. Ryan, how was your day? You also streamed today, yes? You said you played Among Us, or was that not on stream? Remind me, guys. This is what I was drinking, or am I? Yeah, this is what I'm drinking. We ever tried that? Anyway, I had work all weekend, but it's a lot of fun at work. Like I have such a good time. I don't even mind it at all. And I love the people I work with. Like I think they're great. So I'm really excited about life right now. And not that okay, don't get me wrong. Like I really worked at a great place and I loved some of the people there. Um but I don't know, working at the restaurant just feels different. Like meeting new people and even bantering with the customers. Like I feel like I have such a good time with the tables and it's just like a good time. Hi Ash, welcome in. Everyone get your check-ins if you haven't already. Everyone has their check-ins. Ash, Ryan, Star, Ali, Ria, everyone's getting their check-ins. Doing good. Among Us wasn't on my channel, but definitely was fun. Okay, but so you were playing with other streamers. Got it. For the charity. For charity. That should be a soundbite during all these charity streams. Where's Miss Vanjie? For charity. That should be I'm put that down. Write that somewhere. Write that down. Write that down. Stream was good and Overwatch was fun. And we need to play soon. Yes, we need to play anything. Like, I'm even down later. Like, if you're bored, if you want to join, maybe we can get some games in. Chat. I don't think I'm gonna play the event. Maybe I just want to play regular games. Is the event worth it right now? Like, did I get all my prizes? You know? Like, sure, am I missing 3 prizes? Look, I can buy 2 of them right now. 3 of them. Um, no, not 3 of them. 2 of them. I bought 3 of them. I have one left that I need to unlock. Do I really need to play the banquet to do that? Yeah, get your check-ins. Yeah, yeah. I really love where I work. And like I love where I'm working right now, and I'm just trying to like just put my best foot forward. I gotta stop overthinking it. Party Guild member leading some villains. Oh, period. Thank you, Angie. Mariah's so good. I think myself. Yes, very that. Very that. All Stars 9 for charity. Every time. Yeah, stop overthinking. I'm sorry. It's so hard for me not to, even though everything around me is telling me to just do it. Do it. You know? So we're just doing it. And good things are happening and I'm trying to embrace everything, you know? It's super easy, Ali, to like overthink. I'm playing regular matches. I don't care. I'm not here for the banquet. I'm full. I don't need to go to the banquet. we're just gonna play Gabe for a little bit. We're gonna hang out. Ali, how was your weekend? How's everyone's weekend? Okay. So Ryan, I know you were talking about Among Us and Star was talking a little bit about Overwatch, but like what were some good like what was one good thing that happened to you guys this weekend? My good thing that happened to me this weekend is that I was able to see like a bunch of people I care about that I haven't seen like quality time with in a while. And after work yesterday for the 4th of July, like I had a friend host a cookout in the park, and that's why I canceled stream. Because I really needed to like dive into like my friends here, you know, and Mark and I were talking about it. Like we miss them, and like it was good to see them. And even today, one of Mark's friends just got engaged, so like it was fun to be around that energy and those people that we just haven't seen in a while. I know I've been grinding, and I think Mark has been really respecting that, and so I'm just like really grateful to be on the other side of things and be able to like care for my people some more because I have like the space to and the capacity for it. Yeah. And I'm excited for stream. Like this is like part of that. Is like me being like, fuck it. I know I'm gonna enjoy DVD. I know I want to hang out with people on Twitch. Like I'm just gonna chill. You say you do, yeah. Let's party now. Yeah, we had a great weekend. Like 10 out of 10. Ending on a high note. Drinking, streaming. We're just having a good time. I didn't bring a twerk. Look, I'm sorry. I failed my team already. I don't even know what my perks are. Do I have Wiglif or Dance with Me? Questions. Do I have a conviction? We'll see. Okay, yeah, one good thing. It was good. It rained a lot yesterday, but cleared up for fireworks. So, yeah, it was super cold yesterday. Yeah, and I don't know, I don't think it was raining for the fireworks, but it was definitely raining like all day for sure. We had the same weather here. Hey. All right, guys. I'm running Wiglif Conviction. Made for this. Um I hear the game feels low to me. Wiglif made for this is so sexy. Look, I'm trying to be sexy. I'm trying to be hot sexy, you know? It's too early for it, but I'm trying to be. I'm trying to like learn how to like just be strategic with perks and like make them work. I was debating between conviction or resilience because I need life. I maybe it's a crutch. I'm not that upset with life always being on my loadout. Okay. There's no game sound. I don't know if you wanted game sounds. Oh, there's no game sounds at all. No wonder. Okay, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that the soonest we can because I can barely hear the game either. So we're gonna fix the audio in a second. Oop. Yeah, I can barely hear the game too. So I'm just gonna have to like restart the capture card. Guys, the goal is to get a new capture card eventually. That's the goal. Okay, I'm gonna go for hook, I guess. There's still banquet tables even though it's not the event. Got it. Let me get my conviction. No, come, 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 come. No, you don't need to run. You don't need to run. You don't need to run, girl. Please come back. Please. Catherine. You didn't need to come this far. Can you hear the music okay, Allie? Of course, but you ran too far. Okay, I got conviction up. We're chilling. I'm just gonna go for save. Because I can afford it. I can afford it. I can afford it. Oh. Maybe I can't afford it. Help. Help, somebody. Anybody. Ooh. Tried. Okay. Let's focus on the audio real quick. That sounds way better. Can you guys hear that? Here, let's do this real quick. I can afford it. I can afford it. Let's just... Come on, Kate, please. Can you just work with me, buddy? Danny boy. Oh. Have you seen... Yeah, this is why I have Conviction on, because G-Burb makes me want to play Conviction. I want to be like G-Burb, guys. All of her plays are so fun. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for save. I'm going to let her finish that gen. I'm going to let them stay on their gens. I'm going to go for save. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to take... Oh, I messed that up. Sorry about it. Here, now I can hear you. Here comes Springtrap.
I love you, bitch.
Oh my god.
Go, go, go.
I ain't gonna never stop loving you.
So, oh, Sable. Sable, Mabel. Come, come, come. Worth it, worth it, worth it, worth it, worth it. Worth it. Homeboy is fast. Okay, he went back. Holy sh! Oh my god, thank you for the gifted, Ali. I don't think there's any game audio todavía. Can we still not hear the game? I'm gonna go to the gen, I guess. We'll fix it. Can we hear the game? Yes or no? Because on my end, it says you should be hearing the game. The audio is being captured. No? We'll have to fix that. I don't know what happened. Finally got Sable, which is kind of crazy. Oh, it's Danny boy. Hey, what's up, homie? What's up? Come over here. No. Goes for the chase. That's fine. Oh. I have conviction. He doesn't come for me. He's still over there. No! Okay, okay, okay. Conviction, conviction. Please, please, please. Distract him, distract him. No, please. No, you could have distracted him. Brother. I just hear the music. Maybe it's quiet. Now. Golly gee. You tried, buddy. How about now? Can you guys hear it now? Yay! Incredible! Ooh, can I get a whiff? Please. Please. Y'all saw that, didn't you? Buddy. Guys, did you see what I saw? I still have conviction. Now the homies get out. Let's see. I trust Ace. I'm gonna watch Ace. I trust Ace and I trust Sable. I'm not sure I trust Danny Boy. Oh, good try, good try. Okay, good try. Go, 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 go. Danny boy, GG's friend. What is going on? Okay, Ace. What's going on, Ace? Sable. I'm trying to go for the save. Sable can afford it. Ace is still around. Hey, look at him! Go, go, go! Sable's me. Sable's me. Good try, Sable. Oh, Sable, good try. Not the van. Hey, Art, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you for your check-in. How are you doing? How's your week? They lost Sable, friend. Oh, Sable makes it out. Because Springtrap said, no, no, Hatchet Shack, Hatchet Shack, Hatchet Shack. We should make that ban again. That's great. Doing good. How was your week? We'll look for a good thing to happen this weekend. No, please. Sable, I'm doing good. We're a little late. We're having a little fun. We had a great day. Oh, now you had defending my honor. Noted. Oh. I thought my laugh was enough. We could never ban Ryan. Ryan keeps the machine moving. Ryan is literally pressing the on button. Oh, take a drink from me, Diva. Yeah. Had to drink to that loss. But Danny Boy got out.
Never read
Danny Boy got out and the Ace got out. So I guess that's it. Alright. Let's try again. Oh, we got a TTV. We have 2 TTVs. Queen of the Well. That's scary. And then what are my outs? Yep. 352. That didn't go through. They came up. Oh, it's not live. But they both play DVD. Cool. Yeah, be nice. Ryan, I defended your honor. I'm sorry. Don't leave. Hatchet chat, guys. I'm being a team player. I know it's not no cake or tort or whatever. Oh. Yo, bro, just wanted to say, show some real love. Oh, I wasn't done reading. Has over 3 million followers. That's crazy. Oh wait, no, pick that back up. Hi, hi. Hey guys. Oh, these are my teammates. Hey, welcome. Come on, let's go find something to do. Oh, it's a little chunky. Found a teammate. I'm gonna go with the gen. Oh no, there's. I'm gonna go inside names. Oh, good palette, but I can't really save her. Now you're reading the bot. There's no bot. There's no bot. Who's the bot? I have feelings too, Rosa. Can't just be banning everybody. Ruin. I can't tell if he's coming back this way. I think he is. Look at him. Good try, buddy. Oh, he hit that. Idiot sandwich. I'm an idiot sandwich. I'm so exhausted. Oh, please. Just take him away. Can I get a whip? Sorry. Ooh, good try. Ooh, good try. I thought I was gonna clear him with that tree. I thought I was gonna clear him. I thought I was gonna clear him. There, watch me. I was trying to wait for my exhaustion. I was exhausted that whole time. Come on, Skip. Thank you. Come on, Ada. Okay. Did I really do that bad? Thank you, guys. I'm gonna start this gen, I guess. It's Queen's turn to pick a chase. Okay, she's not on it. Sure with that. This gen. Okay. progress up. Is main finished? Yes, it is. Okay. Ooh! Guys, you saw that too, didn't you? He goes to hit the generator. I don't want to be over there. So cute. I'm a little scared. I feel like he might leave her. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back! I'm better than that. I'm better than that. Don't come back over. Okay. He's just invisible. He's still on data. You're okay, Justin. Be brave. Be brave! Please don't come this way. Come on, Ada, you got this. Come on, Ada, you got this. There's still a pallet there. Ada! Good try. That would have been so hot and sexy. That would have been so hot and sexy. Hi, imagine tricky right now. No, please! Okay, I'm holding this. Fixing it completely. Look at that. I need to get conviction, but I think we need to get a gen finish. So I'm just gonna hold the gen. Look, off the hook already. I'm still here, chilling. He's going to the hook. He's getting greedy. He's getting greedy. Look at him. Come on, please. Let me finish this generator. Oh my god, they're all injured. Help. This is not good. Please reset. Come on, please. Let me finish the gen. Okay, I can help him. Okay, go. Please. They're all gonna go for the save. Brother! Brother! He's looking the other way. I'm gonna just go to another gen. Here, put this right here. Oh, skip. Oh no, this is not good. I need to just go for heals. I need to just go for the save. Yeah, look. I'm gonna go for the other save. I'm just gonna go straight for it because he's gonna get greedy on the hook. He doesn't even know I'm here. Look, I'm gonna Come. I got you. That's a kill on skip. That's crazy. I got you, friend. Sorry, Skip. There wasn't anything we could do. You can stick by this. Queen can take the hook. I can take the hook. We finish this. We let her sit on the hook for a little bit. Oh my god, brother. Help me. He's gonna come right over here. I can take the hook. Hold it. I can take it, Chase. Come over here, please. Want me bad. There's no power. Yeah! Oh! He needs to go for save. Maybe. He goes for hook. Oh, he's greedy. He's holding. Holy shit, this is scary. Hi Star, welcome back. How are you? Okay, no more. I have my exhaustion back. Where's... Oh my god. Queen! Oh, you icon! Thank you. We need to get started on Jen or something. You don't know where nobody is. I have to keep my eye on. Oh no, Ada, come over here, please. Guys, I think we're gonna get... Look, Queen! Oh my god, Queen of Altruism. Look at her. Taking that chase. Come over here, Queen. I can do too. I just don't know what's still available. Good try. We're running out of hooks. He doesn't know the gen's being worked on. I got you, Queen. You need to do the gen, okay? You have to do this gen. Shindo has to take one for the team. Please bring the chase over here. Oh, he comes back here. I got the heal though. Look at that. Well, don't run. Jeez. Just after her. Oh. Girly. Come on, Ada. Okay, where's... Okay, let's go. Let's go. Oh, I don't like that. I can't save her. I'm gonna go to the store, I guess. By Shaq. Thank you so much. She's not on this door. Okay, Ada's on the other door. Does he come for this door? Where does he go? Where does he go? Does she get out? Or do I get hatched? Yes, we get hatched! Let's go! Oh! Let's go! We all got out. Just kidding. It was just me and Ada. But it was a valiant effort. We tried really hard that game. We tried so hard. That was so fun. That was a lot of fun. Good job, team. We all did so well. I didn't use conviction not once. I didn't use any of my perks. Just life. Let's dump some points into our girl. Just ready to go. my god, let's go. We're so close. We're halfway there. What are my perks? Resilience instead of made for this. No conviction. Let's keep playing this game. I miss him.
Never read about or seen a place like
We
this.
haven't played this game, like, we keep, we're definitely grinding some V right now. It doesn't matter, let me dance. That looks horrible, but okay. I look horrible. Oh my god, Dr. Jam! I'm so sorry I missed your check-in. How are you? I'm so sorry, I'm just seeing that now. I got caught up in my game. If you're still here, I hope you're doing really, really well. Really, really well. "15 minutes ago, by the way. Guys, I was locked in. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I'm not built for this. I hate this place. I hate this place. A night on Midwich. Please put me out of my misery. Like, I'm tired. Am I right? And who the hell is that? Yeah, it is a I told you. I'm horrible. I don't want to talk about it. You know what? Maybe I'll... Nope, nope. It's not white. You know what? Let's make up for it. Chase is coming this way. At least, oh, let me get this in. The Dwights are healing. I think we have to 10 then at least. No hooks. One gen finished. One gen down. I made up for missing the skill check. I'm at basement. Let me get the fuck out of here. I do not want to be over here actually. He's here somewhere. I have to do totems, by the way. Maybe I put on inner strength. Hi. Oh, they finished a gen. That's incredible. Is there hey. Where did it go? In here? Yeah, there's a gen in here. Oh, Dwight. Oh, can I get a whiff? Sorry, buddy. Buddy, do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Damn, what did he have? Nurse is calling. Nowhere to hide. Okay. Oh. Discord. Carrying survivor within 20 minutes. That is crazy. So he just wanted to see her, really. I'm sorry, friend. Sorry, Mike. GG's. That was crazy. That was crazy. I cannot believe that happened. And this is why we wear Gabe. And this is why Gabe is the realist. Okay, I fit the vibes. I passed the vibe check, I think. I want to change my pants, Loki. Oh, wait. There you go. Never is Oh. I wonder who it is. I have no clue who it might be. That wasn't yours. Is it not enough that you put a helmet on me this soon? Does she see me? Does she see me? Fuck out of here, bro. I got on a chase. Oh my god, my friends are here. Please, I have a helmet on. They all have their helmets off, by the way. Oh. Okay, Nia, thank you so much for your sacrifice. I'm gonna try to get this off. That was stressful. Ah! That wasn't it. Alright, time to go for the helmets. Guys, I'm gonna be doing this all day. Oh, no, I don't like this. I'd rather take it down to reset the helmet, right? Oh my. Guys, this is weird. Come on, come down me, please. Please come down me. No! Come down me. Wait, I need to go up there. I need to get hit. I need to take it down. I need to take it down. I need to take it down. Oh, hit me. Hit me, please. Hit me, please. Yes! Ah! She fell into my trap. She reset it. Thank you. It's fine. I needed it, or I was gonna die. That resets my timer, right? Or does it not reset my timer? Please be honest. We have a lot of generators to finish. She went the other way. She's kind of silly. Okay, I need to get this. She's right there. Honey, baby. Careful, Jane. Oh, she's right there. Jane, she doesn't know. Jane, she doesn't know. Oh my god, Jane. Jane, you icon. Thank you. Oh, it doesn't reset. 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 Please, please, please. I need this. I'm scared. Oh, I don't deserve this. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fox. Oh, God. I needed my conviction. I needed so much help. Is there a generator here? Anything you can do to be helpful? I don't have resilience. Sorry for the response. Ooh, okay, how's Overwatch treating you? Did you win though? Did you win? Did you win at least? Did you win at least? How intense it was? Period. And that's what we like to see. They're working on a different deck. Please help me. I don't want to have a helmet on. I have to pee. It's okay, sink the gen. Oh, I hate her. This one. I have to take it. They get a whiff. Amanda, please. I just have to leave her here, I suppose. Take her across the map, because those gens are getting worked on over there. Oh, she wants my ass. She wants my ass. Because I foiled her helmet plan. Too bad there's 2 gens being worked on over there. I need to get my... Nice. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna get my exhaustion back. Let's go! Okay, all gens are finished. All gens are finished. I have no health, by the way. Would love a heal. Would love a heal. Oh, she's over here. She is over here. I can't. Okay, Jane is on the gate. Jane, my hero. You're joking. Come for heal. Come for heal. We have to find Noed, or we need to open. Can we get out? No, we can't get out, right? We just let her die? That's crazy. We didn't even try to go back. Oh no. That's a big fat GG's. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't do not a thing that match but run away. She thought she had me with that helmet. I'll tell you that. Complete challenge and stuff? Ooh, nice. Okay, I'm gonna ready up. Did she have Franklin's? Why did I not have my medkit? Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm here, team. I'm here. Hold on. I got a snack. Oh. Where is everybody? Okay. Anyway, back to my cheesy bread. Hello? Anyway, another night. Somehow they all ended up in a chase. Alright, Adam's on a jet. That's promising. I was late, so you know what? I have no... Worth it. Worth it. Oh! He hit me. Thank you. Heal me. Right here. In front of all these people. You got another gen done, that's fine. And this gen has progress. What the hell? Let's go. I don't see any. Book immediately. Down. I have conviction now. He hit the jet. I get his here. He sees me. Oh, he's sending out another minion, by the way. Grab Yui. Went right over to the gen. I'm going right over here where I belong. No resilience! What am I doing? I should run resilience instead of this load. Or instead of made for this. Back on the gen, guys, please. Come on, teammates. I get the gen done. We're all hurt so bad. I might just start this gen. Oh. Got you, girl. Heal me. I can afford a hook. I mean, we just have one gen. This can't be that hard, right? We got the double heal. She's on her first hook. I say we start progress. He's just gonna come to this gen. I mean, to this hook. I might just do this gen. Okay. We can hold her on the hook unless she's. She's going right for the hook. I'm gonna go for this hook. Avoid the minion. Okay, she's going for the save. I'm an idiot. This way. I fucking suck at this game. I have no idea, by the way. Like, what am I doing? There's nothing over here. Please. No. It's okay, I can afford it. I know that generators. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Come on, please. Rub my back. The immediately. Oh my god, Adam. It's fine. Get away. Oh! We're all here. Oh my god. Boy, am I glad to see you guys. GG's. Oh! He's right there! Adam, no. Adam, I'm so sorry. Oh. She might be just after her. Good job. I gotta get progress done, I guess. Hi, KFC. Bet. What's good? What's good? Hi, Jam. Welcome back. I'm sorry I didn't see you check in. How are you? Welcome in. How are you doing? How was your weekend? KFC, welcome in. Get your check-in friend. Bet. I live. All green beans and gravy. Can't complain. Period. And that's all period. Yes. Yes, with the chicken. Oh my god. I just need to survive. We were all on that generator. I'm gonna go for the hook save. Yeah, this is all we can do. Stay by shack. I got you. I don't even have to do no harm. Like, what am I doing? What is this build? Do not apologize. I feel so bad. I was locked in. Okay, well, let's stay by shack, I guess. There's no hope. Like, we're gonna get tunneled or slugged at this point. So I'm gonna stay by shack. Unless I go for these, like, crazy... Still exhausted. Go back to the gym. Let's see. I mean, Hatch is over there. Didn't want her. Did he break the pallet? It's okay. It's okay. He doesn't slug. Okay, that's good. Honestly, I played him one night game, so they were hungry. He was hungry for it. Okay. Good try, guys. Killer still left the team committed several crimes. That was tough. He ate. He was hungry for 4K. He got the gens done. Whatever. We did good. I thought we did a fine job, even coming in late. You know? Oh, my Spotify player messed up again. Yeah, my build also is okay. First of all, Gabe, we need to take the shirt off. This is not who we are. This is not who we are. We could do this. I'm down for that. There's more speed. Let's get rid of Mate for this, unfortunately. Or maybe instead of conviction, it's life. I'm not getting rid of life. I don't want to go for saves. I'm just not. You know what I mean? I'd rather be good at the game. Let's put my resilience on. Maybe Wiglif. Yeah, maybe that. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But anyway, Gabe's outfit was not the T. So we had to switch it up. There's not a day that I use Big Lift that I don't think about that time they had it at 150. No way. You know what I miss? Syringes. Bring back the syringe. Stacked with botany, that shit was nasty. I love a little healing. Oh, maybe I should do like a speed heal, huh? I mean, I had do no harm. Maybe do no harm instead of resilience or conviction. No, I like the wig lift conviction because like if I get the heal off, then I can take it down and they can take it down. They can take it. Hey everybody. Hi. Love that for us. Let's go. Oh, one of us. One of us. Mindbreaker. The singular nod from Alan music. Hi Star. Love Mindbreaker. Love it. Love it. Whoever it is really wants Alan. Alan! There's a gen there and there's a gen there. There must be a gen in here, so I might just do this. Okay. Oh, it's mana. Do you hate the event, be honest? The event is kind of doo-doo buns. Amanda, what is her ping at? No, who's ping? Alan, what's going on? Something happened there. There's no way. Here we go, and another helmet journey. She's just swinging on whatever. I don't really care for the event. I think everyone's a little weird in the event. I mean, I think the powers are fun, but I don't really think about them, you know what I mean? Wait, I have resilience this time. Alright, here we go. Alright, to do the traps. Oh! I mean, I'm getting blood points from this, you know, so... Another helmet. Once we finish a gen, I'm screwed. Sorry, girly. I'm gonna go for heals so I can get fiction. I'm gonna go for the heal. She's gonna want me. Okay. Got that done. Alright, what's next? Alright. Alan! What? What was that? That no sense. Favorite shackle? Oh, she's trying to go to save. Actually, can't be around. Just in the way. I'm gonna get the hell out of town. I'm gonna go with your job. There's Lance. Nancy's trying to get this head trap out. Oh my god, Nancy did it. Oh, this is done. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, he can turn it up. They all could. We all could. I also could. Oh, she got the thing! She got the thing! I love this scene. Please heal. Somebody heal. Oh, go ahead and do it. Go ahead. You got it off. This is so bad. Really too. Nice. Girl! Right for me. The pickup. Incredible. I thought she would slug for sure. I was already lower accuracy. That was tough. That was so hard. I mean, I don't know if I played very well. I felt like it was very tough to get away from her at the end there. Maybe I messed up. No, I was doing well apparently. So. I think I was doing some gens, definitely. Definitely doing some gens. Exactly, Star. Which side objective is worse, pig traps or pinhead box? I would say the traps are worse, because the pinhead box is just. Oh no! Oh! Not me thinking of the pyramid head cage. Pinhead box. Doing the box with pinhead. I feel like pinhead in general is harder than pig trap. Like pigs at all. I feel like pinhead is very hard. Who's your least favorite killer? I don't believe I know this. Least favorite killer? Pinhead is definitely up there. Pinhead's definitely up there. I really don't like a pinhead. It's probably that. Like, I don't really care about any of the other killers. Like, I think they're all pretty. They can all be pretty challenging. Like, I don't even mind a clown. Alien to me is not bad. Alien, I feel like the xenomorphs can be really aggressive, so sometimes it's better to like beat them. And pig always. Pig is hard, but I would say pinhead for sure is probably the worst. My least favorite for sure. Like, I think every other killer's there are ways around it, but pinhead is like so hard. Tails Tech, I'm putting up turrets. Turrets are fun to me, but I think it's just like, okay, got us up the turret. Same, yeah. Wait, Star, who are your favorite? I can see Alien, for sure. Clown sometimes, but once I understood the potions, I'm like, whatever, you know. Hi, Vox. Welcome in. Oh my god, Vox, how have you been? Thank you for the check-in. 32 times is insane. It's literally crazy. 32 times. Vox, how have you been? How was all your travel? I hope you were able to enjoy yourself this weekend. Alien Dr. Ghoul. I don't mind Doctor. I think doctors are fun. I always forget about clowns. Dude. Hi. Hola. Hey. Batty. A ghoul? Ooh, a ghoul is up there too, at least favorite. Like a ghoul, I'm not gonna lie, a ghoul will piss me off for sure. Okay, get this done. It's a ghost phase. Got really sad there too. I don't like doctors because they get the news, they constantly shock and no one can do anything except so everyone's crazy all the time. Oh yeah, like getting that status over time. Yeah, that crazy status. That's not very fun. I'm not going for that. I'm gonna go for that. No. Oh, she said no. Good for her. GG. Good for her. He's on Jake though. He sees Jake everywhere. I got my conviction right now. Incredible. ¿Por qué? Why go for that instead of Jake? He's in his power. I can't save her. He's just gonna come right back. I guess we just can't save here. There's no power going on. Just take it. Go. We're good. You know what? Why are you going so far, friend? I'm not going over there. I'm gonna go through this jet. It's because she needs something. This has shot me 100 times. Okay, she's gonna see it sometimes. I need Jake, yeah. Jake needs to get a jet though. Good job. Go save. was fun. Hell yeah. Let's see. No. He was right there too. Sorry. Was there a gen back here? Yes, there was. No, Catalina, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can they get the save? Can someone help her? Oh, we're gonna have this fun for everyone. Yeah, just having them like shake off their crazy. I'm actually bad at the game, guys. DMS and all things. Okay, there's 2 gens literally side by side. I'm gonna wait for him to appear. Oh, he's on shake. He left Jake. I'm hiding there. You left Jake alone. Get that gen. I see you, buddy. Okay, you broke the pallet. That's not good. You might think I want that. This way. Guys. Guys. Keep on Jake. Come on, Jake. Go. Left Jake. Guys, I'm locked in. We left Jake again. He's so close to me. He has no idea where I am. I'm afraid to get back online. He's literally camping it. I just don't know where they are. So I have no concept of how far he is. I'm gonna leave it like that. And like, oh, he has them both. Okay. He's watching them go. Like, he doesn't want either of them. Okay. Help. We have so much progress in that channel. The Jake is really if the Ghostface comes here, I'll be happy. Little go purple. Come on, Jake. No. This is not good. swinging. No, he's supposed to take the hit. What? Why isn't the Wiggler working? Why isn't Wiggler working? Yeah, you can't worry anybody. GG. Good try, good try. I'm gonna make him look good. Good try, team. I'm sorry we couldn't get out, friends. Good try, team. I'm going to lurk for a bit while I grab some food. Honestly, I think that was my last game, I'm gonna be honest. It's 9:30 and I want to like decompress. So this is a really short stream. But I am gonna go relax and eat some food. And you're on the phone. I love you. Oh, Fox. Ilias. Guys, thank you for a great stream. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me. Your boy is tired. There might be a stream schedule change soon, depending on how life unfolds. But we might be able to stream a little bit more. All things considered, maybe a day or two extra. And hopefully we can get some longer streams. I want to play Sims again. I think I know I had a plan for the quarter. We need to make time for it again. So we'll try to do that. Thank you for stream. Appreciate yeah. We're just gonna like end stream. No raid. Thank you all for being here. Stream is honestly great because you guys are here. Like I love doing this to hang out with you guys. I hope we never change. I appreciate you all so much, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their Sundays.